All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Craven Stone. Shalom to the elect, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son. These so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the charagma written about in Revelation 13. The miracle jug is the precursor to the charagma, which is the system we see right now through the four corners of the earth. All these measures you see being implemented. All of these things are leading to something bigger. And that something is that mandatory RFID microchip was a new identity in this new world order, yo. But we're here to declare the return of our Lord Yahushua and the judgment to follow and the deliverance to his elect. So right now, as you can see it, the whole world is in peril right now, yo. And the rhetoric that's coming from these leaders, meaning what they're pushing is not good, yo. And people start rebel in a various ways. You have truckers over there in Canada right now, isn't it? A protest against these measures and these mandates because that affect their jobs and their livelihoods, yo. But that's all a part of, as the scripture said, the grinding shall cease, yo. And we're in such a time in which the world elites are already have their plan in motion, yo, in which they plan to crash the economy and set up a digital monetary system, yo, which is all going to be tracked and monitored. It's going to be a total surveillance state. So before I keep on ranting, I'll just jump straight into this with hope that this is edifying. This is Isaiah 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So let's listen what's going on in the news, We watch ABC News.
This evening north of the border. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau declaring a national emergency now to end the trucker protests and to halt anyone coming from the U.S. to join the protests. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas now.
Tonight, Canada taking drastic new action to put an end to the so-called Freedom Convoy trucker protests, paralyzing the country's capital city. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoking the Emergencies Act, a never-before-used law granting the Canadian government broad powers, including the ability to remove vehicles and freeze bank accounts.
Occupying streets, harassing people, breaking the law. This is...
Alright, so what me want you to do now is subtract the truckers from this whole equation and what they're doing, and think about how that Aqua I get implemented over Canada right now can affect those Canadians, yo. When a leader making speeches like freezing of your bank accounts, yo, what you think you're gonna survive? And that's just in Canada. Best believe one of these acts, these emergency powers are in every country around the world, yo. Like in Jamaica, when them declare a state of emergency, so-called rights is diminished, yo. You see me? And anybody out of Jamaica can tell you, yo, the police, the out is no joke. You see me? It's no joke, yo. Because even out here in Jamaica, them have a new bill was supposed to get pushed through Parliament right now. We have to deal with if you get caught with a firearm, you see me, and the penalty to go with it, yo. Lads, will me look up more on that so I can edify or tell you or give you a follow-up on that whole situation, because the leader out here in Jamaica, he's fearing a uprising, and he believes that this is one of the way to quell that uprising, because without the guns, it's gonna be more easy to go at these so-called gangsters. But that's not gonna help the whole situation, because this is the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in the last days. And all you leaders that have been manipulated and misleading the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're gonna turn on you at a point, yo. You don't have a clue who Israel really is, yo. They're gonna turn at you. And when them start rebel, yo, it's gonna be something you never witness in your whole life, yo. So let's continue listening.
Not a peaceful protest. The time to go home is now.
Tonight, officials blocking people from crossing the border into Canada.
The Canadian Border Services Agency is already turning back non-Canadians trying to enter Canada to participate in blockades.
For the past 3 weeks, truckers have been clogging the streets of Ottawa, disrupting daily life, shutting down schools and businesses to protest vaccine mandates and all COVID restrictions. But tonight, the Ambassador Bridge, the busiest land border crossing between the U.S. and Canada, is back open. Police finally clearing the remaining protesters Sunday, arresting more than 24 people. The end to the week-long blockade can't come soon enough for American automakers. Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors all forced to shut down plants and cancel shifts due to the disruption in the supply chains of car parts. David, this new emergency deployment would...
So, think about it. Them declare Canada as one of the most peaceful countries in the world. So what could have caused this uproar in one of the most peaceful countries in the world? Think about it, yo. So this is back in Isaiah 10 verse 2. To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is exactly what they're planning to do, yo, because these measures that are being implemented right now in Canada, yo, this is just a stepping stone to what's to come. Because they're going to remove your so-called rights from you. And this is going to be all around the world, man, right across the board. Because just look at the protests and look at the measures that follow the protests, yo. You think that other countries around the world are not going to follow suit? Just watch, yo. Just watch what's coming.
will not involve the military removing protesters could last as long as 30 days. David?
Pierre Thomas tonight. Pierre, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube.
So as you can see, we into hey man, so the year kick off, and this is just a starting, you know. They're calling this year the year of turn up. You have a lot more things to see. You have a lot more unrighteous decree to be declared here, because the scripture make mention of a beast arise up out of the sea, yo, having two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon, which is those draconian measures being implemented. And the scripture also said the earth, the kings of the earth have drink of the wine of the fornication of Babylon, you know, in which Babylon is America, and these countries, these allies that America have, they're going to follow suit, like we see Canada right now following suit, declaring draconian measures, where Biden come in the last year come tell the US population, you know, any company hire over 100 staff, it is mandated for the what? The miracle jug, yo. Just look at the measures being implemented over there in the UK. And not even just the UK, majority of Europe, yo. Amount of protests and riots are taking place right now due to these measures. And this will continue to build up till the whole fabric of on the so-called society collapse, yo. You see me? And people are lost and clueless and don't know what to do. What are you gonna do in those times when your leaders were moving the right son and telling the son they can't go outside? Like what day we under curfew, we're not supposed to left for yard, yo. You have to count how much people. I should not even count. You have one somebody was supposed to can go out and go get grocery. Yo. What day my father? Something I'm team and him there for God doctor go to surgery. Yo. Only one somebody could have a look for him at a time. Because of what? These measures, man. These protocols. And these things are gonna irritate people more and more, yo. And it's gonna cause a rebellion. And this is what we're waiting for, yo. These things are prophesied in the scriptures, yo. And we're just declaring what Yahweh Shem Yahshua foretold through his servants, the prophets. Whether you want to believe it, yes or no. Because Jeremiah have said the prophets that have been before me and before they of old have prophesied both against many countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and of pestilence. And these things we were prophesying about for a very long time, yo. Because as I am I'm a young man in the truth, yo. But just to look at my elders, over 30 odd years, the apostles, yo, been declaring the evils where Yahweh Shem Yahushai are going to bring upon the earth. And right now, these evils are taking place right now, but people cannot see it, yo. So this is it, find just a quick snippet. That's what's going on over there in Canada. So with that, I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, Shalom.